Hello, welcome to Coffee and Astronomy. My name is Jim Craig, and today, well, my coffee's gone because my neighbors have been out racing mini bikes all day and making a lot of noise, making it hard to record. I'm hoping I get at least a couple minutes here. I want to start doing a series on you and your telescope because I know a lot of people probably got telescopes for the holidays, or maybe they found one at a garage sale, or wherever you got a telescope. If you've got a telescope, this is a series for you if you don't have a lot of experience, and it might be a decent refresher for those of you who do. Now, one of the ways to know whether or not you've got a telescope that's going to give you decent views is by looking at the eyepieces, because an eyepiece is about half of your optics. You know, if you've got a reflecting telescope, then it's one third of your optics, but it's a good portion of your optics. And one way to tell if you've got a good eyepiece, a decent telescope, is the size of the eyepiece. Now, if you take your eyepiece and make a circle on a piece of paper that's 1 inch in diameter, and here in the United States, that's about the same diameter as a quarter, so you can trace around a quarter. Unfortunately, there's no coin in England that's that size. There used to be the shilling, which was that size, 25 millimeters. But make a circle 25 millimeters if you've got a circle template or something that's that far across. Then take your eyepiece and put it down on your piece of paper and put it over the circle. If it completely covers the circle, that means the barrel of the eyepiece is 1.25 inches. Now, if you slide your eyepiece over and you see any part of that circle, wherever you got the telescope, take it back. If you're picking up a telescope at a garage sale and you hold up a quarter or a shilling, and that shilling or that quarter completely covers the end of the eyepiece, then the eyepiece is too small. You see, eyepieces come pretty much in three sizes, but most amateurs will only ever use one of two. There's 1.25, which is the size of this eyepiece, and then there's 0.965 inches. It's just under 1 inch. And the cheaper telescopes, the ones you see that are made, sold in department stores, made in Asia, the really cheap scopes, they have that eyepiece. And you're going to be very limited about the eyepieces you can get, because not a lot of manufacturers of good quality eyepieces make eyepieces in that size. You're going to be limited in getting color filters and color or neutral density filters, and they can make a lot of difference. So make sure that you take a look at that eyepiece. Also, make sure that you're looking through the telescope the right way. I have an example here. This is from a commercial done some years ago for a major chain restaurant. And if you watch this, the telescope is pointing the wrong direction. Now, which direction it's going to point is going to depend on what kind of telescope you have. If you have a reflecting telescope, what's called a Newtonian reflector, essentially whichever end you look in, if you look in and you see the mirror or the big lens, that's the end that should be pointing toward the sky. In that ad, the person had that end pointing toward the ground. Now, the mirror is on the far end in a Newtonian reflector, but whichever end appears to be open, that's the end that should be pointing at the sky. Think of it as sort of like a bucket gathering, instead of gathering raindrops, it's gathering particles of light called photons. So that's what we've got for this week. If you like what you've seen here and want to see this series continue, consider subscribing. Also consider becoming a patron. That's as simple as going to patreon.com, Planet of Mystery. That's planet_of_mystery. And for as little as $1 a month, you can help support these videos. You can get exclusive content, and you can get in contact with me, and I will try to answer your questions. One thing I would love to have on this channel on Coffee and Astronomy is where you send me a very specific question and I can answer it. So until next week, this is Jim without coffee, but astronomy. And I've got some clear weather tonight, so I'm taking my scope out, and hope you've got some clear weather where you are. It may be chilly, bundle up if you're in the southern hemisphere. Get something cool to drink because you can dehydrate out there, but definitely get out and enjoy that sky.